Tahm Kench is a fish of many names. The River King, Illocratus Vocatus, Two Coats. He's called that last one for two reasons. First one being, he wears two coats that are stitched together in the back. Secondly, because he has no pants to make fun of due to him Donald ducking it all around. He looks like Peter Griffin naked. Tahm is a bargain maker, that of the Faustian variety. But it seems as if Tahm is finally the one who's getting the bum deal. Today we will discuss Tahm Kench as he is now, the proposed changes, and some thoughts about how it will change our favorite fish. Sorry about that, Fizz. Unfortunately, my services do not come free, but the price is but a minuscule one. A subscription to this channel will suffice. Now, do we have an accord? Tahm Kench is a fish with an insatiable hunger, who has yet to learn about Golden Corral's $9.99 endless buffet. His passive is acquired taste and it has two parts to it. Tahm Kench's attacks are a full body motion. You see, it's all in the hips. It's all in the hips. So, he does more damage when he has more health to put behind his swing. The second part is a stack that forms after every auto attack. It maxes out his 3 and has special effects for when you get there. His cue is his tongue lash. Now don't read into that one too much. He sticks out his tongue like a frog and hits the enemy and slows them. Now let me emphasize that this is like a frog. Tahm Kench is very distinguishedly a catfish, not a frog. That's why he talks in such a refined southern accent.
You're as elegant as an outhouse in a leper colony.
And why he doesn't sound like, "Hi-ho, Tahm Kench the Frog here." No rainbow connections will be made in top lane today. If he hits an enemy with full stacks, he stuns them. Use this to slow or stun the enemy so that you can catch them. Now let's talk about Tahm's W.
Get in my belly!
Tahm's hunger makes him a lot like Terrare, in that he'll put basically anything into his belly. Live animals, rocks, even people. Nothing is off limits when it comes to hitting caloric count, because it's bulking season, ladies and gentlemen. You can use this to swallow enemies and allies alike. You can take an enemy out of a fight or save an ally. Unfortunately, some ADCs have as much of forward thinking as a car in reverse, and will hop out, will hop out of your stomach immediately after you swallow them. Oh, I went a little bit too foghorn leghorn there. Now pay attention, boy. You see, this next part's important. You can swallow an enemy once you get 3 stacks of your passive, and now I say, they slide down your throat quicker than an employer rejecting my job application. That's a joke, boy. It's self-deprecating. You see, I'm the punchline. You didn't get that one. Where was I? I feel like I can't even get a word in edgewise with all this yakking. Tahm Kench's E is his thick skin. You see, Tahm Kench is a boomer who's constantly complaining about how champs these days just can't take anything before they fall over dead. You get gray health based on the damage you've taken. Activating your E makes gray health into a shield. Now, this can really save you if you use it wisely. It can make you damn near invincible. So when you're done fighting, you can just walk away.
I shall return to this establishment shortly.
Before we talk about his ultimate, let me tell you that you have just won a fabulous prize! You and one other guest are given a one-way ticket to wherever you want to go on the map. Visit the scenic Dragon Pit, view the majesty of Lane, or see a real-life Baron up close. You and one other ally can use this to flank an enemy, join a team fight, or, my favorite, leave. Now use this wisely though, because some trips can really trip up your team in the long run.
We shouldn't have done this either.
Why,
this
what are you guys
doing?
What are you guys doing? Holy shit.
You're so dead.
Now Tahm Kench can be played in top, jungle, and support. Top Tahm consists of making the most of your strong early game to beat the enemy into a bloody pulp that they can never come back from. Do this by stacking on the champ and then queuing. Then stack again and then W them. You can do this until they get under the tower or die. Support Kench consists of soaking damage for your ADC and then swallowing them when they get into a bind. His W is what makes him competitive in pro play. Now Riot is constantly reworking champions to increase their play rate. This can be through minor adjustments or through fully fledged rework. They have now cast their eyes upon Tahm, and their plan is the old Switcheroo. They're gonna switch Tahm's W and R. They did this in the past with Diana, and it worked out pretty well, all things considered. Diana is now more busted than a post-pubescent Dolly Parton. But what does this mean for Tahm? Well, his devour will probably be a longer duration. Better protect allies and damage enemies more. You may not even need to stack your passive 3 times to swallow an enemy anymore. His teleport could be a knock-up or an engage tool, allowing you to quickly close gaps or escape. The distance, however, would be much shorter, so you can't be doing cross-map plays anymore. This would radically change Tahm and how you play him. The biggest question surrounding this rework is
Why?
this rework is due to the fact that Tahm is a god in pro play, but he's not very good in low elo. Now, if you buff Tahm to improve his win rate in low elo, his pick rate then spikes in pro play. It's an interesting issue that's hard to balance. You see, Tahm Kench's pick rate in top and support is a combined 1%. This makes it obvious that something has to be done to solve this. However, making his best ability have an even longer cooldown may not be the solution. You see, Tahm's W really only can be used once in a fight, maybe twice if you're lucky. This makes it so you really need to think about whether you want to take an enemy out of the team or whether you want to save an ally. Having it every fight, however, is what makes you competitive. I'm not sure a knockup or a grass will have the same sort of effect. Now, I don't know the future. That's why I've lost so much money in crypto this last month. However, if I was to make a prediction, I would say that Tahm may disappear from pro play altogether, and not get a boost in pick rate and low elo like they are anticipating. Now be sure to come back after his rework to tell me how wrong I actually was. But I personally don't see any issue the way Tahm Kench is now. Why, he's a high skill cap champion. Now you see, back in Gaffney, my daddy used to always say the best types of champs were the ones you could learn in 10 games, but took thousands of games to master. We'll see the repercussions of this rework, and we'll have hope for the best, but I've exhausted this southern drawl as long as I could, so I'd like to thank you very much for coming to our TED Talk, and I hope you haven't forgotten about our deal. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Also feel free to tell your friends if you like. You may be saying now that was never part of our original arrangement, nor was the part about telling your friends. I am altering the deal.
Pray I do not alter it any further.